Hi, Augustana. It's Pastor Deb. By now, you have been introduced to our theme for the upcoming year, which is and yet. And yet. This theme talks about three things. One is our reality, okay, which can change, right, from week to week, from day to day, from hour to hour. Our reality can go from great joy and celebration to unknowing and uncertainty. It can be full of anxiety or full of contentment, but sometimes, actually a lot of the time, it seems like our reality is beyond our control. A pandemic breaks out. The leadership of the church is in flux. Things happen that affect our reality. So, naming our reality, and yet, this is the center puzzle piece, as you can see in this. And the third puzzle piece is God promises. God promises. So, the concept is despite what is happening in your world, in your life, in your hours or days, God's promises stand fast. We can count on God to be faithful to God's promises, and we can choose then to live in to God's promises. So, our reality, and yet God's promises. Now, these three phrases are in the form of puzzle pieces. And we have these wonderful faith practice cards that you can use to further examine this theme devotionally in your prayer life or in conversation with your family by using the faith practice cards. I'm going to show you these. Here's an example of them. Hopefully you can see that okay. Here we have our reality. And there's 5 of these puzzle pieces that name 5 different realities. So each day, maybe like at dinner, if you want to do it with your family or in your prayer time, it's good to just kind of name your reality. Every day is not picture perfect, as you know. Sometimes, like with this card, we are feeling the effects of transition and uncertainty. Or we may be in the middle of joy and celebration. Or perhaps we have sadness and loss that we are experiencing. So the key here is to examine what is it that your reality, the reality that you're experiencing that day. And if you read on the back, this the paragraphs on the back kind of help you explore what that reality is. For instance, with transition and uncertainty, sometimes those things happen despite you. Sometimes you've chosen them. You're going to college, you have a new career or a new baby. So sometimes they are exciting, sometimes they are not, but transition can bring growth. It also can bring uncertainty. And yet God promises to be present in our time of transition and uncertainty. And we can ask God to remind us that God holds the future and walks with us every step of the way. So that is the reality cards. The middle piece is and yet. Here's where our choice is. Are we going to live into God's promises or get stuck in our reality? And here are the promises. These faith cards have different promises from God. This one is to encourage, to guide, and to show the way. God promised to sit with us in our discomfort, waiting, and uncertainty, and so forth. So 5 of them are named here. There are many, many, many more promises. But for instance, this one, to encourage, guide, and show us the way, has a Bible verse on the back. You will show me the way of life, granting me the joy of your presence, and the pleasure of living with you forever. And then you can see there's a paragraph that kind of fleshes that out a little bit more, and an action step at the end. As the pieces fall into place, what or who has given you joy, comfort, or hope for today? Can you see beyond that joy, comfort, or hope to its source? So I would encourage you to use these cards in whatever way you find most helpful, and you can combine them as well with other faith practice cards from the past. And one other thing in regard to our theme, we are going to explore these 5 realities and promises in a women's Bible study that will start on Monday night, October 18th at 6:30 in the Jerusalem Room. If you're interested in that opportunity, please contact Barb Rolfs in the main office, and we will look forward to seeing you then. Okay, take care and God bless.